Second part of the meeting is how to continue to increase your income. Because, we are making more money. And would you guys agree that we want to continue to do this?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, some people may say like, we're making money now, so like, I can work less and make a little less money. No?
Not
Okay.
possible.
Not possible? Okay. Some people feel that way sometimes when they make money. They're like, you know what, it's not, it's not all that. Let me just work less and make less money. So since hopefully you guys agree that we want to continue to make more money, let's talk about it, okay? There's two things we have to do here. One way is to make sure we don't go backwards, and the other way is to figure out how we make more money. Okay, so first we're going to talk about not going backwards is decreasing your downside risk. All right, so decrease your downside risk, what do you think would help you guys keep making money? Not going backwards. Availability, okay, yep, just being here. That's huge, okay. I think March we're off to a little bad start. Maybe that's kind of the reason. Not getting comfortable, yep. That's very important, right? Yeah, staying hungry. I would say keep doing what helped you make money. If you know how to make money and get to this point, it's so funny that I see it in agency owners too, like my peers, or I see it in agents in the past too, where they got to a certain level and the exact activity that got them there, they stopped doing. It's like, that's what helped you get there. Why stop doing what helped you get there? Okay, just being here, availability, or not being comfortable, it's like, or having a good attitude, like that's what helped you do well. It's like, don't stop that. Okay, sometimes it's ego or comfort, or sometimes people just, I don't know what it is, because it's like it could be, and this is maybe a theory that might be wrong, but sometimes I naturally like to give praise. It comes natural to me. I like to say thank you, good job. But sometimes, in management books, you do see that if you do too much, then people start feeling big-headed, or they start feeling like they're too important, they don't have to work as hard, they get a little entitled, or the ego starts to kind of take over, and that's sometimes the downside risk starts to appear. So I would say be grateful, and I really appreciate you guys having that gratitude and being humble of following the formula, things like that is what. Just remember, okay? And if you guys had some crazy months before, it's like, what type of mood was I in, or what was I doing? Who was I hanging out with? What time was I going to sleep? Like, if you remember the time when you're hot, try to remember that, because if you stop doing those type of things, that's when downside risk occurs. Another thing that really helps me is not going backwards, is just staying true to my principles, and our principles, which are positive attitude, okay? This also helps you from going backwards. Because if you're working hard, if you're being nice to everybody, if you have a positive attitude, most likely you're not gonna fall off. Okay, keep it simple here. Now, if you're lazy, the opposite of hard work, or if you're just being mean or toxic to your teammates, or if you're just being negative, obviously those are things that could very much lead to bad things happening. So staying true to your principle really helps you stay very basically consistent. Okay, don't change what helped you get here. What's another way we ensure we survive in this business? What do you guys think? One is to stay consistent.
Yeah.
So yeah, stay motivated, have reason, have purpose, be disciplined. Okay, what I want to touch on a little bit this month is be adaptable. All right, so do you guys know who Charles Darwin is? Father of evolution. Okay, that's a good way to say it. Okay, he's the first one who came up with hey, our ancestors are monkeys. Okay, just over time we evolved, or actually our ancestors were just like a cell in the ocean or something, or in the air or something, and we evolved into over millions and millions of years, we evolved into who we are now. Okay, and his thing was, it's not the smartest or the strongest, both, that survives. What is it? The most
adaptable.
Most adaptable. Okay, so most adaptable that survives. So we have a lot of examples here, okay? Laura was an agent for 11 years, 9-time agent of the year, and she overnight just became agency manager. Like that required tremendous amount of adaptability. We talked about Christian he said it last week, where he was like, well, I came into the office, I was working from home, and I have to get used to an agency that values likability. He was like, oh shoot, I gotta change. And he did a great job. Okay, that's being adaptable. Okay, Alexis, all right, closing ratio is really going up because he was adaptable enough to follow the script and change his presentation. You guys can see how adaptability really helps you. And yeah, so I just want to go over our history, a little bit of the DKIA history, because we've been around from 2007. There's multiple stages I felt like, man, if I didn't do that, I would have been out of business. First week, farmers. I got sent to Farmers University. It was in Woodland Hills. And they were like, hey, so what do you do when someone calls you and asks for a quote? Like, I quote them. It's like, no, never, ever quote over the phone. I was like, so what do I have to do? He's like, set an appointment and go see them or have them come to you. If you do it over the phone, you'll never get the sale because you can never build a connection. I was like, I don't know about that. Let me just try quoting people over the phone. If I would have followed their guidelines, I don't know what would have happened. Okay. Then I was starting to buy leads, and these lead costs were getting really expensive and really expensive. And Facebook came out. And I was like, you know what? Everybody's on Facebook. Let me try generating my own leads. I don't have to share with them. They're, because they used to get shared by like 10 other agents, and like they were like a week old. I was like, let me just run Facebook ads and see what happens. What other changes do you think we made? Keep. That's right, okay. I'll tell you a story about not adapting is, one of my agency owner friends, he's a little older, and he was like, hey, what are you doing? And he's helped me in the past. I was like, hey, I do this, I do that. And he's like, oh, wow, that's so cool. Like a system that sends automatic text messages and stuff. Like, yeah, you don't have a CRM? He's like, no, like you should definitely do it. And I hooked him up with John, and he got Keep for his agency. 1 month later, he was like, this is a mess. Like my staff hates it. Like you have to input these leads and like you have to change sales stage. I was like, yeah, it helps you a lot, right? He's like, no, like my agents hate it. Like we're gonna cancel. I was like, okay. That just shows the inability to adapt. Imagine where we'd be, how disorganized we would be, okay, if we didn't have Keep. And another quote, this is from Albert Einstein. The measure of intelligence is the ability to adapt, again, is the ability to change. So that agent that didn't change, I don't want to say this, but that's kind of like a sign of not being smart. And I don't want to be dumb. Like, I don't want to be considered dumb. Like, I can't change. And some people may have experienced people that are like that. Like, they just can't change. Like, they just like, that's not good for you, but you keep doing it. It's like, it's like you can't, not being able to adapt is a sign of unintelligence. And that's something that we don't want to be associated with. All right? And the reason I'm talking so much about adapting is because the future is coming very fast, guys. You guys know what I'm talking about here? AI, robots. Yeah, AI is taking over. All right. They say there's only going to be 2 types of businesses in 5 years. It's kind of like, 2 types of business, okay? Companies that use AI and companies that are out of business. It's going to be like companies that use internet and companies that don't. Like imagine like not using the internet. That's how widespread it's going to be in about 5-10 years. They say that in 5 years, they'll be smarter than all humans, one robot. Okay? In 10 years, there'll be more robots than humans. They are going to be able to do customer service and sales better than us. Okay? And there's going to be a robot in our office.
What?
One day.
That sounds weird.
Does that sound weird?
Are you serious? A little scary.
That's what the smart people are saying. That's what people are saying, and one of the things that we kind of have to do is we just have to be ready for that a little bit, okay? It's gonna be to a point where if you talk to like an old agent, they're like, hey, like back when you had to, like I would ask them, or they love to tell the story, but like, what did you guys do before computers? Because insurance agents were around when there was no computers or internet. They will get a quote in person, they'll write out an application, they'll mail it to the carrier, wait a couple weeks, get the quote, hey client, I got a quote for you, do you want it? Yes, okay, give me your check, send it. Okay, now send it back to them, wait another couple weeks, here's your policy, and give it to them. One policy would take like 2 months. Okay. Now, once you guys have grandkids, you guys are gonna say, hey, I used to sell insurance without robots. And they're gonna be like, what? It was like that back then? You're gonna be saying like, hey, I used to have to drive myself. What world were you living in? Okay, but the rate of acceleration is even faster than even 20 years ago or 40 years ago. I just want to let you guys know that we're in a season of change in our lives. It's a big thing here, and I'm actually very excited. And this is where having the core principle of positivity helps a lot, because a lot of people are scared. Okay. I'm actually very excited because we're just going to be able to do so much more. And I have some projects, and I really want to thank Laura and Espedi and you guys for being drama-free and just maintaining yourselves within the office, because when I'm here at 5 o'clock every day and I'm in my room, those are the type of meetings and those are the type of research I'm having. In fact, I talk to ChatGPT like 8 hours a day. Okay.
I'm happy when you come out.
I have a great relationship with ChatGPT, but it knows our agency really well too, and it knows what steps I need to take. I don't want to say this, but I feel like I'm a lot smarter now, because I'm just asking it questions, telling me what to do, how to run our agency, and it's just so smart that it's going to make us be able to do so much more, and it's an opportunity for us to really explode. Like if you guys think like, wow, we used to write 86K in the future, how fast things go and how fast we could do codes, we're going to be doing a lot more. Okay, and one of the things I do feel like we have advantage is that I do like to kind of stay one step ahead. Okay, I do know that other agencies out there, they haven't even tried Facebook ads or even went out of the country yet. They can't even adapt to that. Wait till AI comes, they're not going to do it because they're just scared and they're not going to be willing to adapt. I want to be ahead of that. And I want to be the first, maybe, insurance agency that really takes advantage of it, and that's really going to help us blow up in like a much faster pace than we are right now. So I'm genuinely excited about the future here, and I just want to ask you guys, are you?
Excited for robots, yeah.
Excited for robots? Okay.
In the office.
In the robots? Okay. Yeah, they can do a lot of things to help us out, probably. They could probably make the best coffee ever. But yeah, just want to let you guys know that it's good to be optimistic about change. And it's just, I would be a little bit scared, I get you, if you didn't have a good relationship with, or didn't have a good relationship with anybody that wasn't using AI. Okay, because you want to be in a place that is going to take advantage of AI. Okay. And it's not scared of using it, because you don't want to be left behind, and maybe you guys don't have the technical skills or the resources, because each robot, they say, is going to cost about 25 grand. Okay, so have the resources to be able to take advantage of it. So the people that may have to be worried a little bit in this new economy where robots could do so much are maybe if you're mediocre with your skills or don't have great relationships with anybody who has access to AI. I just want to let you guys know, for you guys to not be scared, it's all about just being adaptable. And to me, adaptability equals, to me, loyalty. Okay? Because as we go through these changes, and Laura has gone through so many changes, every time there's a change, she's like, okay, let's do that. Okay, let's do this. Okay, let's do that. And that's really what really shows me that she's aligned with our goals and missions, no matter what her duty is. So adaptability really shows loyalty. And with robots being able to do everything, the only thing that's really going to matter, because one thing robots can't have, we'll find out, is robots could do everything. What's the only thing left between humans?
Feelings.
Feelings. Relationship. The relationship is going to be more important than ever now. Because if everybody has access to robots, then people are going to be like, okay, who do I trust? Who do I owe? Who do I value? Okay, so relationships are even going to be more valuable when the skill level of what everyone has access to kind of evens out. So I just want to let you guys know that I highly recommend having a great relationship with, people that are important to you financially, because that is what is going to make a difference in the new world. And these relationships that you have built over time is going to even matter even more, and it's going to help you not only survive in the new world when everything changes, but also help you really thrive. All right, so to sum it up here, decrease your downside risk, basically consistency to stay grounded. Just don't change what helped get you there. Okay, if you've been locked in, then just keep locked in. Like, why change that? And I know it's a little contradicting, because one side is like, okay, stay consistent, don't change, but the other side is like, okay, be super adaptable. And to kind of maybe comprehend that, I would say just be really consistent with your values. Okay, work hard, be nice, be positive. Okay, those like core principles, stay consistent, but be super flexible when it comes to strategies and tactics. Okay, we're gonna do things differently here. We're gonna try to do things differently here. So being flexible with the tactics and the strategy, but being super consistent with the values is really the how that contradiction, I can explain that contradiction there. So increase your upside potential, adaptability to keep growing. All right? I just turned 45 years old 2 days ago, and I'm waking up with more excitement because of this new adventure I'm going to go on, doing all this research, all these podcasts I'm listening to these very smart people, and I'm starting to understand, okay, what the world's going to be like and how we could fit our agency into that strategy of what's going to come. Because the future is coming very quickly. Okay, and I just want to ride this wave as one of the first insurance agencies and really blow up, because we could do so much things so much faster, and we're going to be finding out, okay, what the new world's going to be. So let's find out who stays, patient, loyal, all right, who stays true to our principles, minimize our downside risk, and then who's ready to maximize our full potential by being adaptable. All right, you guys ready for the future? It's coming a lot sooner than you think, so let's get it. All right, thank you guys.